America, the land of opportunity. Unless you're a school district desperate for qualified teachers, that's where the H-1B visa steps in. Like a substitute teacher with a very specific set of skills. This visa allows schools to hire foreign teachers, bringing their expertise to classrooms across the country. Think of it as a much less controversial border crossing than others we could mention. These teachers often fill critical gaps, especially in areas like bilingual education. Because, some kids grow up speaking more than just American. Shocking, I know. This helps schools provide a quality education to a diverse student body. Remember, diversity is our strength, folks. Unless we're talking about the lottery numbers for the H-1B visa, then it's just painful. The H-1B visa isn't just a lifeline for schools, it's a win-win. It allows foreign teachers to pursue their passion in the U.S. and contribute to our society. Plus, it gives American kids a chance to learn about different cultures. The kind of cultural exchange program that doesn't involve questionable dating apps. So, next time you hear someone complaining about the H-1B visa, remind them that it's helping to educate the future generation. And if that doesn't work, just tell them it's way less complicated than understanding the plot of Tenet. Now let's talk about the J-1 visa. Picture it as the H-1B's hip, younger sibling. It's a temporary visa for exchange visitor programs, often used by teachers to get a taste of the American dream, or at least the American education system. But here's the catch: J-1 visas used to come with a home residency requirement. This meant that after their time in the U.S., teachers had to return to their home country for 2 years. It's like a mandatory study abroad program, but in reverse. And way less fun. Thankfully, someone in Washington finally saw the light, or maybe they just needed more qualified teachers. They removed the home residency rule for J-1 holders. That's right, no more forced trips back home. This makes transitioning from a J-1 to an H-1B visa smoother than a buttered bald eagle on a slip and slide. This is a game changer for teachers who want to put down roots in the U.S. No more long-distance relationships with their careers. They can now switch to an H-1B visa without packing their bags and saying goodbye to their students. Alright folks, buckle up because the H-1B visa process is about to take you on a wild ride. First, we've got the H-1B cap, a yearly limit on how many visas are handed out. Think of it like trying to get tickets to a Beyoncé concert, except less fun and with more paperwork. There are two types of H-1B visas: cap subject and cap exempt. Cap subject visas are like playing the lottery, except instead of winning millions, you get a chance to work in America and pay taxes. Cap-exempt visas, on the other hand, are like having a backstage pass to Beyoncé, but instead of meeting Queen Bey, you get to work for a university or a non-profit research organization. Then there are the costs. The H-1B visa process isn't cheap. We're talking thousands of dollars in fees, legal costs, and maybe even a few bribes. Just kidding. Don't bribe anyone. Unless it's the person who decides whether or not your application gets approved. Just kidding again. Of course, with any system that involves money and opportunity, there's bound to be some shady business going on. That's why the government has implemented measures to prevent fraud, like a more rigorous application process and increased scrutiny of employers. Because nothing says welcome to America like a thorough background check and a healthy dose of paranoia. So, we've covered the ins and outs of the H-1B visa process, but what's the impact on the ground? Well, for starters, it's helped alleviate teacher shortages across the country. Schools are able to bring in qualified educators from overseas, which means more kids are getting the education they deserve. But it's not all sunshine and rainbows. The H-1B visa process can be a long and arduous journey, filled with bureaucratic hurdles and emotional roller coasters. Plus, there's always the looming threat of policy changes. It's enough to make you want to pack your bags and move to Canada. Speaking of policy changes, there have been some recent updates to the H-1B visa program. Some good, some not so good. See the description below this video for H-1B sponsoring school districts in USA. Here are a few states sponsoring H-1B visas for teachers: Georgia, South Carolina, Louisiana, Arizona, New Mexico, New York, New Jersey. All details are in the description below. In conclusion, the H-1B visa program is a complex and ever-evolving beast. It has its benefits and its drawbacks, its supporters and its detractors. But one thing is for sure, it plays a vital role in shaping the landscape of American education. And as long as there are schools in need of qualified teachers, the H-1B visa will continue to be a hot topic of debate.